A group of disgruntled members of the ANC are going ahead with their own conference in the Free State. They claim structures have yet to furnish branches with responses to complaints. They claim 23 branches in Mangaung had issued disputes with the ANC's Provincial Dispute Resolution Committee, but only 3 were called by the party's interim provincial committee. Reporter Moloko Moloko is in Bloemfontein and joins us with the latest. Good evening, Moloko. Thanks for your time tonight. Tell us exactly why there are 2 conferences underway in Mangaung.
Good evening, Shadika Pillay. Well, in 1912, Shadika, here in Bloemfontein, when the African National Congress was founded, delegates coming from various parts of this country sat in a conference to elect new leaders. And at that time, Pixley Kaisaka was very popular, the man who's credited as the organizer of that particular inaugural conference. Otherwise, it elected John Langalibalele Dube, only for Pixley Kaisaka to be elected at a later stage. Why am I recounting this history? It is all because today here in Mangaung, the birthplace of the African National Congress, as we speak, there are 2 conferences of the ANC that are taking place at the same time. And the main reason primarily is that there has always been unhappiness among some members of the ANC branches who were complaining, saying that the processes leading to the nomination of delegates leading to one of these regional conferences were fraught with irregularities, and they have been complaining. We saw that last night they approached the High Court in Bloemfontein on an urgent basis, seeking an interdict to stop the regional conference from continuing. However, the court dismissed with cause that particular application and said the conference of the ANC in the region ought to continue. It is taking place as we speak at another venue outside Bloemfontein. However, in the Bloemfontein CBD, there's another conference taking place. It's been organized mainly by those disgruntled members, and they are in attendance. However, some of the leaders from the interim regional committee are in attendance, and also some of the leaders coming from the interim provincial committee. And I can mention here Keleborile Wesi. She is part of this ongoing Congress, but also Mamiki Klamashe is also part of this, and also Monseng Tsiu, who is also a member of the Provincial Interim Committee and MEC of Health, is attending this particular Congress that's been organized by those who do not recognize the one that's been given thumbs up by the High Court. But let us speak to one of the interim regional leaders. Sir, thank you so much for your time. You are here. Somebody would say you ought to be attending the conference which the High Court yesterday said must continue. Why are you not attending that one, and why are you attending this one?
Okay, thank you very much, and let me thank the opportunity that you have provided us to clarify ourselves. Let's clarify the first point. We are not disgruntled members of the ANC, solely because on the processes that have taken place as the preparation towards the 3 conferences, which is the regional conference, the provincial conference, and the national conference. Those delegates that have been elected by branches are actually here in this conference. So we need to get the myth that we are not disgruntled. Actually, the actual conference of the ANC that is in here. The only thing that the applicants who went to court did was to try to bring to the attention of the court that we have went through the internal processes, but the ANC did not consider to understand that all the dispute must have been resolved. So when the court gave a go-ahead that the conference can proceed, we felt it necessary that all those delegates that are eligible for the conference must converge, as they have converged in Bonn Hotel today, to proceed with their conference.
Do you not think it was important for you to go and attend that particular conference and raise your issues in that particular conference and even contest if you really believe that you have the numbers?
Yeah, you see, when you get into a space where you have an illegal people attending so-called A conference, you better not go to where you are not invited at. By the way, like I've explained, all the delegates that have been elected in the branches in terms of the ANC constitution, they are all here. We are actually asking ourselves who has attended that other conference. We don't dispute the fact that some of the applicants who went to court are in this conference, but the only thing that they were trying to do was to bring to the attention of the ANC internal processes and even to the court to say, but something has been going wrong here. But once the court okayed that thing, we felt that this conference must then proceed.
After electing leaders who would emerge from your conference, and the other conference would also elect its own leaders. Ultimately, the African National Congress, both at the provincial but also at the National Executive Committee, can only recognize one structure. Why do you believe that you stand a chance to be recognized, especially when the provincial structure went to court to oppose your application?
Let's correct it. The provincial structure of the ANC, which is in this instance the IPC, did not oppose the application. Let's make it very clear on that one. So, like I've explained again, the delegates as elected in the branch general meetings of the ANC in Mangaung, they are all here. So anybody who contests that you are not legitimately meeting here, you will be making a mistake. However, to show that indeed it's not a mistake, we had IPC members who have came and opened the conference officially.
But those IPC members, who would have sent them, especially because the convener of the IPC, Mr. Mxolisi Dugwana, is clear that this is an illegitimate meeting and the people who are here from the IPC attending to this are violating processes of the ANC?
Very easy to use any terminology to say people are violating, but I think I could have loved if you could expatiate on what he's saying, because where we are standing now, there is no violation according to what the court, which they celebrated to have made an outcome that there's no irregularities on the process. So it will be very unfortunate for him to say that. However, I could have expected Mxolisi Dugwana as a convener, leader, probably a father figure of the ANC members and branches in the Free State. He's supposed to have actually not even commented. He was supposed to have done something to bring his chickens in one place. But now he has failed to do that. So I will not want to comment to his comment on what he has said.
Yeah. What is this whole situation wherein there are currently two conferences which will now produce two separate leaderships? What is this doing to brand ANC, more especially when you ought to be uniting the rank and file? And as one of your projects when you emerged out of Mangaung, apparently you were clear as delegates that the ANC ought to be united. Can you say the ANC is united in this province?
We must agree that the ANC maybe seem not to be united. But remember, we are in the process where the ANC is trying to cleanse itself out of people that have captured the ANC and use it as their own project. So the process of cleansing the ANC, unfortunately, has its bumpy ways going forward. If this is one of the bumpy ways, but we can't stop the program to clean the ANC out of the people that have no interest of building it and making sure that the brand ANC remains the brand that was left by Oliver Tambo and other leaders of the ANC.
Monna Pule Ntamo, thank you so much for your time. I'm being told that you have just been nominated for the position of Deputy Chairperson and they want you inside with immediate effect so that you can either decline or accept your nomination. Good luck, sir. Monna Pulendamo, as I said, until now he's been a member of the interim regional committee in Mangaung, and he's going back into plenary to either accept or decline. But Shadika, maybe before we even proceed, let us listen to Mxolisi Dukwana, because earlier we spoke to him trying to find out what his reaction is in as far as this situation where we now are witnessing two conferences that are taking place at the same time. Let's listen to him.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate that the level of ill discipline will be demonstrated in the manner in which it is now. We are not surprised, in fact, since the beginning of the establishment of the IPC, the IRC, some of the elements here in Mangaung, to be specific, have actually demonstrated that they do not welcome the decision of the NEC to appoint the interim structure. They've openly declared themselves outside the functioning of the organization in many ways. In some instances, they went to court demanding that we should take them to a regional conference. They wanted their BBGMs, and we said to them, we've been saying we need to really get this the organization ready and make sure that when we do these things, we are all ready. And I'm surprised that they feel that we did not listen to them when we did.
Moloko, given everything that's happened and transpired today, what does this mean for the national conference later this year?
Well, firstly, Shadika, this regional conference ought to be ushering the provincial conference of the ANC in the Free State. And we know that Mxolisi Dukwana, together with Thabo Manyoni, but also the Premier, Sissin Ntombela, are eyeing for that top position in the ANC in the Free State. And of course, we understand that the provincial conference ought to be taking place on Friday. Now, as for the national picture, when you speak to Mxolisi Dukwana, he is clear that he supports President Cyril Ramaphosa, and he says that that will be the line as they will be going to the Nasrec National Conference. But those who are, some of them are part of this particular regional conference we are reporting from now, told us earlier off the record that actually they prefer Zweli Mkhize to become the president of the ANC. Others, of course, are saying they are still assessing and to see whether Sissin Ntombela stands a chance. But also, this is the home province of Fikile Mbalula, who is currently eyeing the position of Secretary General, and we know that he is trailing Mdumiseni Ntuli of KwaZulu-Natal, who seems to be enjoying widespread support across various provinces of South Africa. So it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, whoever emerges as the provincial chairperson will, to a very large extent, considering also, Shadika, that usually the ANC conferences, voting happens to take place along the slates. So you will find a situation where the chairperson is elected along with the provincial executive members, people who tend to support or take a particular line that is also supported by that provincial chairperson. So chances are that whoever would emerge as the provincial chairperson will also be, guiding the delegates as they will be going to that national conference. Of course, we know the president is leading Zweli Mkhize with a huge margin, but it must be understood that at this point in time, those are just the nominations. The final decision lies with the delegates who will be voting in a secret vote in a week or two when they meet in Johannesburg, Nasrec. Shadika Pillay.
Interesting times ahead indeed. Thank you for that, Moloko. That was reporter Moloko Moloko bringing us the latest from the Mangaung Regional Conference.